Hello everyone, my name is Hal. This is Quail Studios Guitar. Thank you for being here. Today we're talking about learning songs fast. For those of you who've been waiting for a couple minutes, sorry about that. I had an idea about what I wanted to do with my microphone and it wasn't working, so I had to switch mics again. So anyway, so here we are. We're going to talk about what to do, what you need to know to be able to learn songs fast. And of course, there's probably more than I can do just in a short video, but we're going to get started. I want to tell you a little bit about my experience. When I was about 18 years old, I was going to school at a place called El Camino College, and I was actually studying music there and during the day, and I also had a UPS job, United Parcel Service, and I was working part-time, so it was like from 4 in the afternoon to about 8 o'clock at night, 8:30 at night. And I got a call from a friend of mine when I was in school, and she said, "Hey, we need a lead guitar player for our band." And I thought, okay, yeah, I could do that. That's what I thought. I was studying voice, music theory, piano, singing in the El Camino College chorale. I had actually forgot about the guitar for a while. It was kind of interesting, because somebody asked me to play the guitar, and I got up and I tried to play an A minor chord, and I couldn't remember what the A minor chord was. It was like devastating to me. So I had been playing for about 6 years, and I went home and I got my guitar out, and I'm like, look at my books, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course I know an A minor chord. And about a week after that, a friend of mine called me up, and she said, you want to be in our band, lead guitar player? And I said, sure. But I had never done that before. I had been a bass player in a band. I had been a rhythm guitar player in a band. I had been a lead singer in a band, but I'd never been the lead guitar player. And I was a vocalist. And I thought, well, I don't have a band right now. If they like me, they'll keep me. If they won't, they'll kick me out, and I'll be in the same position I am now. So I said, sure, I can do that. And then I wanted to know if this was going to be like one of those bands where you get together and you play for 6 months or something, or a year, and nothing really ever happens. And people are like, don't practice, or they're not that great. So I asked the person who called me, a good friend of mine, I said, do you have any gigs? That was my first question. And she said, yes, we have a gig in Hemet. We were living in Southern California. Hemet is kind of east of LA. And she said, we have a gig in Hemet in 3 weeks, and we need to know 30 songs. And I said, great. I was thinking, okay, this is cool. I said, how many songs do you know? She said, we don't know any songs. I said, you don't know any songs? She goes, no, and we don't have a drummer. And I went, okay. So who's in your band? They had a bass player, a guy named Andre from Chicago. They had a rhythm guitar player. I don't remember his name right now. They had 2 female vocalists. And so we had, counting me, we had 2 guitars and a bass player, 2 female vocalists, and no drummer. I'm like, are we practicing tonight? And she said, no, but we can practice tomorrow night. I'm like, okay, well, we better get on it then if we've only got 3 weeks. We had like 3 weeks and 2 days. So we got together and we started, deciding, okay, what songs do you know? What songs do you know? And so we're trying to figure out how many songs we could put together really quickly, because we didn't have a lot of time. 30 songs in 3 weeks. How many songs do you know? You can put it in the description below in the comments, right? And have you ever learned a song from the beginning to the end? Do you know very many songs? That's a good question. So the philosophy of this person that called me up, her name was Pam. Her philosophy was get the gig first, and the band will come, and we'll put it together. That's the way you get everything rolling. I thought it was a great philosophy. Well, what do you need to know? You need to know your chords, right? I knew my chords. I knew all my chords. I started practicing again after I realized I couldn't remember what an A minor chord was. So I started practicing furiously. And I knew pentatonic scales. Oops. Right, I knew those. major and minor pentatonics, all 5 positions, that kind of thing. I didn't really have my minor scales down really super well or my major scales down. And, I didn't do a lot of arpeggios and I couldn't finger pick very well. And that's where I was when I got into this band. And it was about 1975, the end of 1975 or the beginning of 1976. So we put together some classic tunes that we knew, Bob Dylan and a bunch of stuff. It was a cover band, basically. We didn't have time to learn songs note for note. And several of the songs that we did were pretty simple songs, 2 chords, 3 chords, 4 chords, that kind of thing. Wasn't anything super complicated. I mean, we didn't do any Rush tunes or Yes tunes or anything like that. Besides, they were more top 40 type of stuff. So that kind of band, I mean, those kind of songs weren't really what we were looking for. We were looking for mostly top 40 stuff. So we put together a whole bunch of things, and you need to just do it as quickly as possible. There used to be, before the internet, this was before the internet, there used to be books like this. This is called the Real Little Best Fake Book Ever, right? And it's got over 1,000 songs in it. Here, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Elton John. Can't Buy Me Love. That's a Lennon and McCartney song. Careless Whisper. Carpet Man. The Candy Man. This is like the Candy Man can. You know that one? So this has all kinds of stuff. The Color of My Love. I don't know that one. Coward of the County. Oh, remember that one? Coward of the County? Yeah, I can't remember the guy that... Put it in the description who did Coward of the County. I see his face. Cruising Down the River. Cruising down the river. Da-da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. These are old songs. Here's Day Tripper from the Beatles. Day by Day. Oh, that was from Godspell. We didn't do these songs, but they had these books that you could just like... And what happens is that they had the melody written out in standard notation, and they had chord symbols over it. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Yeah. That's the one. That's one that James Taylor did. That's the one I just showed you right there. Right? So you had this kind of stuff. And so you didn't have any guitar parts. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Right? You start just playing it. You just start learning your chords. You're learning what to do, the rhythms, that kind of thing. And when you have 30 songs to put together, if you play and work on one song every 20 minutes, and that's it, it'll take you 10 hours to get through 30 songs. So I remember going to practice and, on Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, being there till midnight and going, oh, we didn't get through our whole set. We didn't get through all 30 songs. We only got through 22 of them or something like that because we had to stop and we had to work on things. So you have to do it as quickly as possible, and that's my philosophy. I've had calls where people would call me up and they'd say, hey, can you play for my daughter's wedding? When is it? This afternoon. I actually had a call like this. This afternoon at 4 o'clock. Get a call at 10 in the morning. I'm like, really? Yeah, we'll pay you, and I get out my list, my list for weddings and that kind of thing, and like receptions. Oh, okay, let's see what I can do here. Sure, I did one that way. Sometimes, you get 3 or 4 days to prepare. Sometimes you get a nice 2 or 3 months to prepare, and that's really great because then you can really prepare some stuff that they want you to do. But anyway, you got to know these kinds of things. You need to know, you need to be familiar with a lot of different songs. And if you don't know it, then you need to listen to that song over and over and over. I do that all the time. Even classical pieces that I'm doing. There was a classical piece that I was working on, Capriccio Arabe by Francisco Tárrega. And the beginning of it, I was having so much trouble with it. And the opening riff of it, you go look it up. I'd have to put my guitar in drop D to be able to play it. But anyway, I was having a lot of trouble with it. And then I listened to it. I just listened to it over and over and over, probably about 20, 25 times. And then I picked up my guitar again and I started playing it, and it just fell into place. So that's another thing that you can do to help learn songs quickly, is to really memorize them, get them in your head. That kind of getting them in your head to where they're not going out. You know, it's like, I can't get the song out of my head. You want that when you're playing a song. You want to be able to have lead sheets. And that's the reason why I have my book. And my book is available at Patreon, at Subscribestar, or you can, in the link in the description, you can make a donation. I'll send you my book. All right, I got to go. That's all for right now. Do the best you can. Learn some songs all the way through. Make a list, of 3 songs if you don't have 3, 5 songs, 7 songs, 12 songs. Learn them and review them. Anyway, I got to go. Appreciate you being here. We'll talk to you later.